Hello everybody. So for those who find my video without going through my website, let me introduce myself. My name is Gilles Urtubise, and my scientific self-taught and multidisciplinary scientist and inventor is Gilles Lauzon Urtubise, and I am the owner and the founder of the first human multi-intelligence.com. Okay, so the subject of this video is the solar cycle does not exist. Here I'm gonna read to you what they said about the solar cycle. So for them, and which is accepted by all the other scientists, but I refuse this concept. Then so I just gonna read what they said about it. A solar cycle is a period during which the activity of the sun varies by reproducing the same phenomena as during the period of the same previous duration. This solar activity is characterized by the intensity of the sun's magnetic field and by the number of spots on its surface. So, and in history, some of those things seen from the Earth, the influence of the sun varies mainly according to a daily or annual period. In absolute terms, the activity is regulated by a solar cycle of an average period of 11.2 years, from one maximum to the next. But the duration can vary between 8 and 15. The amplitude of the maxima can vary from simple to triple. The 11-year cycle was first determined by German amateur astronomer Heinrich Schwabe around 1843. In 1849, the Swiss astronomer Johann Rudolf Wolf established a method for calculating solar activity based on the number of spots. Schwabe's cycles are numbered from the maximum of 1761, see table. So other cycle 24 began in 2008 and ended in early 2020, as suggested by the inversion of the solar magnetic field reported by an Indian team. The maximum of cycle 24 is predicted by the Space Weather Prediction Center for 2025, and it's expected to have 115 spots. In correction with okay, here I don't believe in any of those cycles, because the sun or any other star like the sun, they are not human. They have not a human life or human. They have not animal life. The sun cannot change his mind and to be upset. These things doesn't make any sense at all, because when the sun produces spot, it's because the Earth object and the proportion of the spot is the proportion of the objects they get in collision with the sun. So that's what happened. And when they have many spots, it's because the sun eats many asteroids, many small asteroids. many small objects. So from outside then, and so this is the real origin of this of when it's produced spot and when it's produced eruption. And when it's produced eruption, it's with much bigger object. So that could be the size about tens meter, 100 meters, maybe a kilometers meter. Everything is possible. So, and it's somewhere between those sides then. So I keep continue. So in connection with the 11-year cycle, there is a 20-year cycle which concerns the solar magnetic field. Indeed, the polarities of the latter are reversed with each new 11-year cycle. So I'm not sure about it, but anyway. So as another cycle of 179 years can also be highlighted in relation to the cycle of the gas giants planet Jupiter and Saturn. So why this cycle is so long compared to the one it's supposed to be at 11.2 years, but compared to the ones of only 8 years, so they have a lots of things, then it's not serious. It's too much difference between those cycles, supposed to be cycle. Then, so I come back to a cycle of 179 years can also be highlighted in relation. Okay, so, and a theory developed by Nelson, 1971, Takahashi, 1977, Biggs, 1977, Woods, 1968, Blitzer, 1969, Ambrose, 1971, Grandpierre, 1996, and Hung, 2007. Gives for due to this cycle of solar tides caused by the planets of the solar system, mainly Venus, Earth, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So and I keep continue. Then Ching Che-hong of NASA found a relationship between the position of the planets, tide-producing planet, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Jupiter, and 24/5 solar storm among the 38 most important in history. So it's 25 solar storm with 38. So they have a huge difference between two of them because it's almost 15% of difference then. So 15% less for the solar storm with compared to the 38 most important in history. And the probability that such an association is due to chance will be only 0.039%. Hung also isolated an 11 years cycle described by the Venus, Earth, Jupiter group corresponding to the sunspot cycle. Wolf also noticed a cycle of variation of the maxima of a period of 90 years. So they have a lot of cycle which varies a lot from 8 to supposed to be an average of 11.2 to 15 years, so into 179 years, and another about 90 years. So they have a huge difference of them. During the years of a maximum activity, there is an increase in. Then, so I'm a scientific. I respect those scientific, whatever they, for me, if they're wrong. I know they works a lot to doing this, so I have lots of respect for their work. And like the scientific protocol, I don't have to agree with them, but I respect them a lot. Even if I'm not agree with them, I respect them a lot because this is the most important thing in science. This is the way then we can exchange. Whatever, if you agree or not, we have to exchange to see different ways of the universe. But of course, for me, the solar cycle does not exist. The only way they could exist, it's only for the characteristic when they have they reverse its pole. Only in this time, but because all of the time when the suns produce spot or produce eruption, it's because he hurts objects, and that's the only way when these things happen. And we have the proof. We have other proof with the materials and with the object. They goes to the earth, and when they pass in the atmosphere, they burns because of the atmosphere. So if it's happened to the earth, of course it's happened to the sun, and much more because the sun is much more bigger than the earth. Yes, and I have to come back to the tide. When they're talking about to the tide of the Earth, of our Mars or Venus, the tide of the Earth could not have any influence on the sun because it's like well, the Earth is so small. The size is, I don't know if it's exactly compared to the mouse versus the elephant, the big elephant. So, but the difference of size is so huge. Then, so the tide of the Earth or any other planets could not make any influence on the big sun. It doesn't make sense at all. No, the only things they produce spot on the sun, and when the sun produces eruption, it's only because he hurt some object, and that's it. And a bigger and big enough object to produce, because yes, the spot they produce, they have a proportional size to the asteroid they get in collision with the sun. So that's it for this video. So thank you and see you to the next.